Go.
It's time for the North Carolina Vinyl Picker Show, and on this show, we're going to the Antique Corner Mall. Me and the wife, we're going to go in here and we'll see what we can find. I'm going to show you here real soon. Stay tuned. North Carolina Vinyl Picker. I'm at the corner Antique Mall. We'll flip through the jazz today. At the corner Antique Mall. Looking at some of these nice records. Trying to give you an overview of what they got here. In case you see something you need the picker to come back and get. Got lots of stuff. I think that's Iggy Pop. Pop, pop till you drop. It's Sunday. It's time for the North Carolina Vinyl Picker Show. And on this episode, we're going to do the 10 hottest women according to me. Me, just me. Looks, lyrics, write their own music, bands, live performances that they've played on. They all take into consideration. And also I have one pickup from eBay I'm going to show you. And also, me and my wife, we went to the corner Antique Mall in Hudson, North Carolina, earlier this past week, and picked up a few gems there. So what should I do first? Should I show you the records first, or should I go ahead and go right to the top 10 hottest women in rock and roll, according to who? Me, the North Carolina Vinyl Picker. Well, let's just dive right into these 10 women, because some people don't care about what I pick up, and some do. So we can just do that at the end. And if you like my channel, you can sub me up, and you can hit the bell. And that way you know every time the North Carolina Vinyl Picker is coming on. This week here, we're going up to Taylorsville. Ooh, all the way up to Taylorsville. Yeah, we're going to go up there. There's an antique store up there that I haven't been to in quite a while. So I'm looking to find some gems there. This is the haul I got this week. These were all $3 a piece. Does the picker find some records or what? Coming in, and these women here are runners up. Okay, these are the runners up. This is a band that I listened to a lot when I was back in the Navy, back in the day, years ago, long time ago. And Maura Brennan and in Clannad. And they had one song that he did with Bono, or is that Bono? One or the other. Not Bozo. Maura Brennan. Clannad. If you like Gaelic music and a little bit of rock mixed in, then you should listen to Clannad. And Maura Brennan's pretty easy on the eyes. And her sister, Anya. Anya Brennan is Maura's sister. And she made a lot of new age music back in the 90s into the 2000s. And again, that whole family, all the women in that family, they are all striking. So there you go. This is Enya. And they had a younger sister, along with like 5 boys. But the younger girl's name was, I think it was Brennan, or Biden Brennan. That's what it was, Biden Brennan. Not confused with Joe Biden. No, this is Biden Brennan. Okay. Now, coming in, she was number 13, by the way. These are all runners up. Christine McVie. Christine McVie, of course, is one half of the female duo in Fleetwood Mac. And she made a lot of nice records. And a lot of these records, these artists that I'm going to show you in this top 10, wrote their own music, which gives them a, little heads up. It counts. It counts, So there you go. Christine McVie, the late Christine McVie. I never got to see Fleetwood Mac, nor did I ever see Planet. I never saw them either, or with Enya, or without Enya, because she used to be with them in the beginning. But Christine McVie, I digress, as Tony would say. Christine McVie was an awesome keyboard player and sang quite a few songs with Fleetwood Mac. Everybody knows who she is. And this is the other woman that played with her on stage, and that would be Stevie Nicks. Now, this is my favorite Fleetwood Mac album. That's not a Fleetwood Mac album. This is Buckingham Nicks, and this came out before the White Album, when they got together, when they joined Fleetwood Mac, and then they did Rumors, and then they did Tusk, and all those records. So, yeah, that's Stevie Nicks, and I like her. I like her on this record here, and I used to like her solo album, her first solo album, maybe. Never saw her live either. That's another artist I never seen live. Okay, coming in at number 10. Now we're in the hot 10. This is a woman that I used to listen to quite a bit in my adolescence, back when I was a younger man. And it was Laura Branigan, and she has since passed. But she had a string of hits, and she died young. I'm not sure what it was. I think it was cancer, but let's just say, people say cancer sucks. And Laura Branigan, this came out in 84. But I used to listen to her quite a bit back in the 80s, and I really liked her style. She wrote some of her own music. She was an excellent singer, and again, she was easy on the eyes. There you go. Probably why I liked her. I don't know. I remember liking her a lot, though. Coming in at number 9. I know you're all sitting at the edge of your chair, wanting to know what the last ones are. Coming in at number 9. Now, whenever I see this movie here with Mel Gibson, Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, I get a little bit of movement. I ain't lying, buddy. I'll tell you right now. Tina Turner. Yes. Oh, Tina. Yes. Tina Turner. We don't need another hero. Thunderdome. Yeah, Tina's hot. She wrote a lot of her own music with Ike, and she did a lot of her own stuff. Private Dancer, on and on and on. Had this my favorite Mel Gibson movie, or my favorite Mad Max movie, Thunderdome. Oh, Tina. Tina's hot in this movie, I'll tell you right now. Coming in at number 8. When I was a younger man, a real younger man, I'm talking about probably junior high, probably Joni Mitchell. Yes, In the Woods. In the Woods. This album here. Yeah, this is I saw this when I was a younger man. I said, holy freaking moly. That's Joni, when she was young Joni. Yes, that was young Joni back in the day. Hi Gyra is my favorite album of Joni Mitchell. God bless her, she's out there doing it now with some other lady, and they're making music, and her latest CD was really good. What number am I at? Number 7? Am I at number 7? Carly Simon. Yes, I like me some Carly Simon too. This is Mazzy's favorite cover. And yeah. Carly Simon. I was married to James Taylor for a while. Did the old Mockingbird. Carly Simon was hot. She was hot. Coming in at number... Where are we at? Coming in at number 6. Toya. I remember having the cassette tape of this back when I was in the Navy again. And we went to Bahrain or one of those countries over there. We bought a bunch of cassettes. I'm going to try to find those. I'm going to show them next week. I think they're out in the garage. If I can find those cassettes, there's probably about 10 of them. There's a Marillion one. There's a couple of them. Mike Oldfield. There's a bunch of those cassettes that I bought over there in the street. You could pick them up for like $1. I forget what they were. Well, I have found this one there. Probably from, I didn't know her from Adam. And yeah, that's Robert Fripp's wife when she was Toya. Now, her name's Toya Wilcox, but yeah, she made quite a few records. This is the only one that I ever heard, and I liked it a lot. And again, this is 80s music, so if I ever say that I wasn't listening to music in the 80s, that's a lie. That's a total lie. So I take all that back. What we got left? 2, 3, 4. We're halfway. Coming in at number 10. No. Coming in at number 5. Annie Haslam from Renaissance. Beautiful woman. Now, I remember seeing her for the first time. I was just like starstruck. I went to a concert with my brother, John, from up in New Jersey. And we went over to Pennsylvania, I think, somewhere. I think I got the stub. And we saw Renaissance, Midas Man. We saw that tour for the album, for that album. And oh my goodness, she came out in this gold outfit and she did Midas Man. Yes, this Annie Haslam. Stunning. And it was, what a show. The only time I ever got to see Renaissance. One time. I know, John, you watching. You saw many more times than that. I think you saw the Carnegie Hall show. But it was awesome. It was awesome. Coming in at number 5. I know you're all wondering who's number 4 coming up, right? Well, it's got to be somebody that's really hot. That's Olivia Newton-John. Yes. My friend John again turned me on to Olivia. I wasn't listening to Olivia, but a lot of people were. And this is a nice picture of Olivia. I got some other ones over there, like EPs and stuff. I think I showed one last week. She was a favorite of mine. Yeah, she's still listening. I still listen to Olivia. I like her later stuff, like Totally Hot and Physical and those kind of records. I know that the early ones are good too, with Please Mr. Please and Sam and all those songs. Coming in at number 4? No, number 3. Coming in at number 3, Linda Ronstadt. Yeah, Tony P. Coming in at number 3. I know she's going to be your number 1. But she's my number 3. And there she is putting on her roller skates. There's the picture disc. Yes, I love Linda Ronstadt. Always have. Hasten Down the Wind. When I saw that album cover, this young lad couldn't put it under his arm fast enough and get it out of the store. I was with my dad. We were out there on Route 17 in New Jersey at the big super center that was there. And I remember going back there and getting that record. And Don Imus, One Sacred Chicken to Go. One with the Heavenly Glow. And Don Imus signed it. And I don't have the album anymore. So there you go. That's my Don Imus story. I met him. He was there signing records. I know later on he did some sketchy stuff. But I digress. He was nice enough to sign it, and I got that record that day with my dad, and I remember getting Hasten Down the Wind, and yeah. Coming in at number 2, I seen this woman on her very first tour, and this is what she looked like when I seen her. That's Tori Amos, and she's from Newton, North Carolina, which is right down the road. It's not far from the North Carolina Vinyl Picker, where I ended up, and this is her 45 from her first band that she was in the 80s. Now, if you like 80s synth music, you would like this album, Why Can't Tori Read? It ain't easy to find, but this is a 45 from that. And this is really not easy to find, but I lucked out one time because I had it in Discogs and or eBay. I wasn't even doing Discogs then. Speaking of Discogs, if you guys are looking for any records, there'll be a link down below. Go to my store and you find all kinds of stuff. You won't find this though. But this here, this 45, I got for like $10, and this is like $100 45. So there you go. There's Miss Tori Amos when she was young. That's about what she looked like when I met her, and I met her in the in New Orleans. I seen her 3 shows there. I saw her in New Orleans, Mobile, and then up there where the big college is. I can't think of it on top of my head, but we had to travel up this highway. We went up there with a young lady I was with, and we saw Tori. And then we got a chance to go backstage, and I met her, and I met Tori Amos, and I got a signed picture up here on the wall that I'll show you. I should have had it took it down and showed you, but it's hard to get to because it's way behind the desk here. But she signed it, and she said, Arthur, love Tori Amos. And I've had it ever since, but it was really nice to meet her. And she was young, I was young, and we weren't in love or nothing because we didn't know each other. Coming in at number 1, there can only be one, and she's right back here on the wall. She's over here on the wall. She's everywhere. She's right here. She's right here. She's right here. Got to be Kate Bush. Kate Bush was really big in the 80s. Yes. Here's a picture of Kate. And this is Running Up the Hill, the extended version. And she's my number 1. She'll always be my number 1. Tori's a close second. I love her music. And I love Kate's music. But that's all there is. That's all there is, folks. That's my top 10 with a couple of extras. I hope you enjoyed the show. Oh, I got to show you what I picked up this week. So I got this one here in the mail yesterday. I got like 10 grails. I'm going to tell you what my grails are at the end of the show. I got like 10 grails. This was one of the 10 grails I had. This is with Fred Frith. This is Henry Cow. Now you go and people I don't say, who the hell is Henry Cow? But they were an avant-garde Canterbury group back in the 70s and late 60s going into the 70s, the Canterbury scene with like Coliseum and Soft Machine and Hatfield in the North and National Health and, you know, all those guys. And this is another one of the bands that was big. Caravan was big too. Henry Cow. This is a really, really good album. And the people that are on this, it kind of reminds me almost, there was times when I listened to it that it sounded like Hatfield in the North. Man, I don't think any of the guys that are in this band were in that, but they had that certain sound from them, and I really enjoy. So this was I picked up on eBay this week, and I can take that one off my most wanted list. Here's the records that I picked up. Now, we went to the Corner Antique Mall, and that was up in Hudson, North Carolina, and there'll be an opening in the beginning in a record. Well, I went ahead and went through some records and showed you all you boys and girls out there the records that I saw, some of the records I saw. These are the ones I picked up. Now, they had, the way the records are set up there, that they go from A to Z, and then they have a new release thing. Then they have a soul, they have a jazz, they have a country. It's all separated by genre. So if you're ever up there near Hudson, North Carolina, you need to stop in there at the Corner Antique Mall. And that's my Antique Mall feature of the week. This is I think my 3rd Antique Mall in 3 weeks. I told you I was going to do 5, so we've got 2 more to go. We're going to Taylorsville this week, and then we're going to the big one in North Wilkesboro. Tim Weisberg. Now, these records were all $3 a piece. Mind blown. Tim Weisberg. Now, Tim Weisberg is a flautist, and he's just excellent. His records are really good, and so if you get a chance, listen to Tim Weisberg. Yes. He did an album with Dan Fogelberg that is just incredible. That was his best album he ever did. He did it with Dan. But this one here, I was glad to find it for $3. Search of the Lost Chord. This is a first press UK of Search of the Lost Chord. I think I paid $5 for it. Oh, I picked it up. You know, when you pick them up and they're all flimsy, you say, that's not from the U.S. I'll tell you that right now. That's a UK or a French or a German press. Search of the Lost Chord, $5. You go find one for $5. It's like minty mint, right? Minty mint. Jackson Browne, Saturate Before Using, or just the first Jackson Browne album. This is a great album. I like all of Jackson Browne stuff. I like the Eagles, and I like the Byrds, and I liked Southern Hillman Fury. There's Poco, a lot of those country rock albums I like. But this one here is really good, and it was $5, so I picked it up. And it's like minty mint. I just need one more record now, I think, of his, and I think I'm done. Late for the Sky. I don't think I have that one. Mike Oldfield, Almadon. This was $5, and I looked it up on Discogs, and it's like a $60 record. This is a quadraphonic, but not only is it quadraphonic, which I already have. I think I have one in my store. But this one here is a UK quadraphonic, again with the flimsy cover. UK quad, $5. I don't think they know what they got up there. I'll tell you that right now. Because North Carolina vinyl picker went in there and he was picking, buddy. I'm tell you. This one here I found. This is mind blown here. This is a quadraphonic. Don't sleep on those quad pressings. That's what Patrick tells you. This one here is Edgar Winter. They only come out at night. It's got Frankenstein on here. Free Ride. I seen Edgar Winter. I think I told the story last week at the Hard Rock Cafe with my wife. And they opened up for the original Bad Company. This was been in the 90s when they all got back together, when Boz Burrell was still alive and before he passed, and then the rest of the guys were there. The original band. Mick Ralphs and the drummer and all them people. It was a really great show. My wife loved it. And but these guys here came on stage first. Him with Rick Derringer. And they did Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo. They did Frankenstein, and Edgar looked good. He still looks good. I saw him on the internet not too long ago. And I love all his music. White Trash, buddy. Edgar Winter's White Trash. No one talks about Edgar Winter's White Trash on the vinyl community, do they? Do you ever hear anybody else besides the North Carolina vinyl picker talking about White Trash? No. No, you don't. Neil Diamond. I love me some Neil Diamond. These were $3 a piece. This one here is a German. Somebody must went over there and bought a bunch of records and then decided they didn't want them. They brought them all to the antique store and turned them in. I don't know. But they got a lot of imports there for $3. Let me tell you, I got to go back there again and get a chair and sit down because there was quite a few there and my back was hurting. And I just said, oh, it's time to go. Neil Diamond. Best of, greatest hits. I must have about this many Neil Diamond records. I love Neil Diamond. Been listening to him since I was an infant. Maybe a little older than that. This is one of my favorite Neil Diamond albums right here. And this here is also a German import of Stones. $3. It's got, of course, I Am, I Said on here. Chelsea Monday, or Chelsea Morning. Just a great album. Great album. I took my other one. I'm going to put it in the store. I got the German now. I ain't going back. That's about all I got. Oh, I told you I was going to go over these. Damn, we're at 21 minutes already. This is my list. Robert Wyatt, End of an Ear. I'm looking for that album. Anybody got these records, they want to send them to the North Carolina vinyl picker, you just go ahead. Feel free. I accept all vinyl. Excuse me. Ragnarok, their first album. I got their second, third, and I got their fourth album coming in the mail. But Aquafragile, their first album. The self-titled Aquafragile album. It's an offshoot of PFM. Gong, The Flying Teapot, Angel's Egg. Those two I'm looking for. Banco, Del Muto Sogorso, Darwin, and Lo Sono Nato Librio. Those are the three first albums. I'm still looking for those. Nectar, Ballerman. Yes, buddy. Beggar's Opera, Act 1. Caravan, If I Could Do It All Over Again. Can, Soundtracks. Elton John, 171170 plus. That's got the whole show. Came out for Record Store Day. I'm looking for a copy of that. Gentle Giant, first album. Octopus and Three Friends, all I need UK versions. Julian Lennon, Help Yourself. That album came out when the CDs were real popular. Nectar, Tab in the Ocean. Rod Stewart, Gasoline Alley. UK. That's the ones I'm looking for. that's all I got for this week. Coming in at 22 minutes, 37 seconds. I better get out of here. North Carolina Vinyl Picker, I'm out. Support them troops if you can, and I'll see you next weekend. Bye for now.